But generally, the Igbo nation supports fully and entirely anything that can make the Middle Belt stand on its own and regain that self-determination as has been originated from creation. This restructuring on the basis of ethnic nationalities, this regionalization, is no more a federal funded system.
Years ago, when local government elections were being conducted nationally, in Kano State, there was an Igbo man that won an election as a councillor in Sabongeri area. And yet, he was not allowed to sit in council throughout the time. They would send his allowances or whatever entitlements, but he was not allowed to be part of it. That scenario can be replicated in any part of the country. So if we are talking about indigene or settler issues, it should not be localized to any other place. If you go to whether Rima or Caliphate region, there are people from other part of the country that have lived there in generations.
You will also agree with me that Plateau-Gurara brings 5 states, namely Plateau, Kaduna, Niger, Nasarawa, and even parts of FCT, with distinct ethnic nationalities numbering over 100.
And so we are not going to cede the Ufia to Ebonyi State. We also have one of the political wards in our state, in Ichama, that is entirely from Igbo land, from Nsukka district. We have an Idoma nationality, a mixed Idoma Egede nationality called the Ete in Enugu-Ezike, local government of Nsukka, that speak Igala, speak Idoma, and speak Igbo. So we have all those nationalities, but we said we don't want to tamper with them because they are very comfortable where they are, you know. But what happens is that we are dealing with the ones that are in that contiguous entity.
All right, the restructuring of Nigeria is getting more interesting with what I'm seeing and what is happening in that assembly being organized by the concerned citizen. Yes, the concerned citizens are being led by Deacon Owolabi. Yes, that is the man's name. So, well, but if you ask me, I'll tell you that what they are doing is not out of place. But there are some imbalances the way I see it. I'm not trying to, condemn what they are doing. It seems like some regions are more prepared, that they have been working on their own, templates before calling on others to come and do this thing. I know why I say this thing. Because if you observe the statement, the way their presentations that are going on, you understand what I'm saying. And there's another thing I observe. Igbos, when Igbos are talking, they will be talking on behalf of others, fighting for others. But now they are talking about problem in Igbo land. There is problem in Igbo land and nobody is talking about how to solve it. You see that something is fishy. Well, that is by the way. Why we are here today is to look into the Plateau-Gurara region. This region, we are going to hear what made it up, concerning this place. We are going to hear the details and the map. Yes, you bear me witness that this area has been under serious attack, the same thing with Benue. That's recent time. They have been under attack, and it's quite interesting to hear from them. Well, let's go in details.
My esteemed professors, elders, doctors, good morning once again. I congratulate the Gurara Plateau region. I need clarification from them, which must be clarified for us to be logically understanding the issue. They were silent about the settler and native dichotomy. So I would like them to clarify their stand, because if they cannot assimilate or accommodate some ethnics in their indigenous, in their state, then how is it going to be logical for them to incorporate more other tribes from other regions? Like, according to Greenberg, in the Middle Belt, there are more than 250,000 tribes and sub-ethnic groups. Then, if they can not incorporate a tribe, deny indigenship, then how will it be possible for them to incorporate other tribes with different ethnic background in Niger or Kaduna State? Let them clarify it.
Thank you for your comments, because I consider it a comment rather than a question. I don't think this assembly is here to address issues like that. But I want to tell you that we have not separated any of the local governments where there are settlers and original or inhabitants. So it's not in our place to make decisions. If we had decided to excise any part of the state in the name of being settlers region or local government, then this will arise. But we are carrying everybody along. So we do not have any issue of settler and original inhabitants in our region.
Thank you, sir. Please, this is time for questions. We would like to entertain some questions from the floor. If there's any, please, you signify by raising of your hands. Yes, I can see two from the far back. Yes. Okay. Come up.
Good morning, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, my name is Professor Cephas Tushima. Mine is not so much of a question as it is more of a comment on the comment one of the chairman raised. I believe the issue he is raising is not just about Plateau region, it's a national issue that I believe this assembly should address at some point. Because the question he's raising is not unique to any part of the country. It's a national issue every place. I'll give an example. Years ago, when local government elections were being conducted nationally, in Kano State, there was an Igbo man that won an election as a councillor in Sabongeri area. And yet, he was not allowed to sit in council throughout the time. They would send his allowances or whatever entitlements, but he was not allowed to be part of it. That scenario can be replicated in any part of the country. So if we are talking about indigene or settler issues, it should not be localized to any other place. If you go to whether Rima or Caliphate region, there are people from other part of the country that have lived there in generations. They can be elected into offices there. If we go to the Igbo region, there are many people from other regions that are there. Can they also be elected in positions there? I think Lagos is very unique in appointing people from other areas into executive positions. So the issue is raised. It should not be localized in any region. It should be addressed as a national issue. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, yeah.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone here. My name is Professor Ijeku Emmanuel Oloja. I want to appreciate the presentation by the leader of the Savannah region. He has solved a huge problem that I could not sleep even last night, because I am the leader of the coalition of indigenous Middle Belt organizations. The proposals that were originally contained in the document prepared by TRG and Citizens for Restructuring were basically prepared by that organization that is in respect of the central Nigeria. And when we came here, on the first day, when I looked at 2 days before I appeared here, I saw a presentation from a Lower Benue, a petition. And that petition basically tampered with the original arrangement. So when these my brothers came, I had to sit them down. And we started looking to how we are going to solve the problem that had been created. I came here as the president of that organization, but eventually you can see me wearing the Idoma uniform because I had to now be forced to go back to my original village by that document of the Lower Benue. And so I sat with them, and then we started looking at how we are going to solve the problem. But thank you very much, the leader of the presenter representing the Savannah-Gurara. You have solved a huge problem. Because what he has simply done is that the Plateau region will be according to the map that he has drawn. And this man had only a few hours to do this. So please, let's clap for him. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. More questions? Okay, sir. All right, sir. All right.
Thank you for the presentation. My name is Obasi Igwe. I'm a retired teacher. Thank you for the presentation, advocating for both Plateau and the Plateau regions. That's 2 regions. You are advocating for 2 regions, you understand? Okay. I know that region a little bit, not much, because when I was at the ABU Zaria, we used to hear of Jama Federation and the Saminaka, those places, Southern Kaduna. The happy thing in this presentation is the mention of the Bagi and Gwari, because the Igbo nation had been surprised that nobody or few people had been mentioning Gwari or Bagi in these presentations. This is a question and also a comment. The comment is this: this restructuring on the basis of ethnic nationalities, this regionalization, is no more a federal funded system. It is now the regions that will fund the center. In which case, the more regions a place, a zone will have, the more funds that come from that zone to the center. Which means the zones now will be spending more funds to fund the center. So it is not to the advantage in terms of money, but perfectly in order in terms of self-determination. Because if we can have 500 regions, okay, in terms of self-determination, but in terms of economic, in terms of financial expenditure, it is now the zones that will now be spending more to fund the center if there are too many regions there. So, to us, yes, it's good to split the plateau into Plateau region and Gurara region, but that means more money than will come from that area to fund the center than it would have been otherwise if they were one region. But generally, the Igbo nation supports fully and entirely anything that can make the Middle Belt stand on its own and regain that self-determination as has been originated from creation. The Middle Belt is the food basket of Africa, so we congratulate you and fully support you.
Please, sorry for seeing me here again. There is something I needed to clarify. The presentation here is that there are two regions that should be recognized from that Plateau-Gurara. There is Plateau region and there is Gurara region. Gurara region is essentially the FCT, parts of Niger State, and then parts of Southern Kaduna, the entire Southern Kaduna, and some portions of Nasarawa State. So please, that should be taken into account. And our prayer is that the convener and the entire TRG and the team for Restructured Nigeria will recognize that now we have the Lower Benue, we are going to come on board with Apa-Agba, we will now have Plateau region, we will have the Gurara region, and then we'll have the Savannah region. Thank you.
Okay. Is this in your mind that the two regions should be separated? Okay. Do we still have any other question? We are running out of time anyway. Okay. During your presentation, I understand that you have up to 100 ethnic nationalities in this region. Okay, or more. Now, this assembly will want to know how connected are they?
Yes, we tried to see how we can connect the ethnic nationalities. And in the original proposal, we had a situation where Lantan South was ceded to Benue. Those of you who know Lantan, you remember the famous Lantan Mafia. Lantan South and Lantan North are one people, the Tarok people. Now in the map, they took Lantan South to Benue and left Lantan North to Plateau. And this is what we are trying to solve. By bringing back Lantan South, Kwampa, and Shandam that are supposed to be originally on the side of Plateau. The elder there made an observation about the Gbagi. In the Gurara area, part of the Gbagi are in Kaduna South. Part of them are in Niger. So Gurara coming now as a region, we bring them together and stay in one place. It will not be proper for an ethnic group to be divided into two regions. That's why we have made this proposal. Amongst other local governments that we have tried, we will help in drawing a map that will be acceptable in our proposal too. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Just before I allow you go, let me give Honorable Comfort opportunity to just congratulate them.
Good morning or good afternoon, whichever. I congratulate you people for your presentation. We appreciate you, and with your submission, we think that at least we should be able to support and grant you with this your Plateau and Gurara region. Thank you.
So, having heard this, I am going to put you through in the actual presentation that the man made. Yes, the actual presentation, so that you hear what they are detailing, their own details. That is what I'm going to show you now.
The convener, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Honorable Lumumba Ade. I'm from Plateau State. Okay. We are supposed to be making a presentation for the proposed Plateau-Gurara region. You will agree with me that it is one of the most complex in the setting because there are compound issues that arose in the mapping of Plateau-Gurara as proposed here. In the proposed map, we have what is popularly known as Zone C from Benue, that's a senatorial district, as being part of Plateau-Gurara. On arriving here, the people of that zone have opted out of Plateau-Gurara, and therefore our presentation excludes them. When we discussed further with our brothers from the Gurara end, they expressed their desire to be autonomous. So Gurara, as it is, southern Kaduna plus part of Niger State constitute a proposed Gurara region, leaving Plateau as a region with the inclusion of some local governments that were seeded in the original map to Benue State. You will also agree with me that Plateau-Gurara brings 5 states, namely Plateau, Kaduna, Niger, Nasarawa, and even parts of FCT, with distinct ethnic nationalities numbering over 100. So you will understand why we are having these issues of agreeing and not agreeing who and who should be part of Plateau-Gurara region. In any case, we prepared a presentation which I'm going to read, notwithstanding these issues, because we believe that this is a work in progress. Even beyond today, we will still have the opportunity to look at the mapping for a possible acceptable map that will eventually, or at the end of the ultimately, be adopted. So I read our presentation as follows. Introduction. Let us begin by affirming a fundamental historical truth. The peoples of the territories now proposed under the single label of Plateau-Gurara have lived together as peaceful neighbors for centuries, long before the advent of British colonial rule. We share deep affinities in culture, customs, traditional institutions, intercommunal markets, religious worldviews, predominantly Christian, with indigenous spiritual elements. And mutual social values and patterns of daily life, intermarriage, trade, mutual defense against external threats have bound us together as communities across what later became administrative boundaries. Had this concerned citizens assembly convened in 1914, the people of Plateau-Gurara would have gladly accepted inclusion within a common regional arrangement founded on genuine affinity and consent. That long record of harmonious coexistence remains a valuable asset of our Middle Belt identity. It is precisely because of this shared history of peace that we approach the present proposal with both gratitude and caution. True harmony is best preserved when regions are structured on the free consent of the people, geographical contiguity, protections, and the democratic wishes of the affected populations. For this reason, we respectfully submit that the proposed Plateau-Gurara entity should be separated into two distinct autonomous regions, a Plateau region and a Gurara region. We acknowledge with profound appreciation the visionary work of the Citizen Rebirth and Awareness Initiative in convening this assembly. By creating a national platform for open deliberation, the CREN has given Nigerians a rare opportunity to correct the errors of military fiat and colonial administrative convenience, and to craft a constitution that truly reflects the wishes of the people. We, the people, we commend this service to the nation and commit ourselves to constructive engagement in the spirit of national rebirth. While the pre-colonial and early colonial relationship of Plateau-Gurara was harmonious, the post-independence experience of the southern Kaduna peoples has been markedly different. Successive military era state and local government creations, especially during Babangida regime, placed southern Kaduna in larger political units in which they became perpetual minorities. The arrangement subjected them to systemic marginalization within the current Northwest geopolitical structure. The result has been decades of living under a defensive and suspicious posture, a people constantly guarding against domination. Consequently, any single regional configuration that now places Southern Kaduna under the same autonomous regional government as the core plateau population risks beginning on a foundation with residual distrust and latent conflict, rather than genuine consent. Harmony is best protected by allowing each set of community the dignity of self-determination within two viable, culturally coherent and distinct regions. Recommended configuration: two distinct regions. We respectfully recommend that the proposed Plateau-Gurara entity be separated as follows. 1. Gurara region, which should comprise the southern Kaduna local government areas, explicitly including Chikun and the portions of Kaduna South local government area lying south of the natural boundary of River Kaduna. Contiguous local government areas of Niger State already indicated in the draft proposal, that is Shiroro, Muya, Boso, Chachanga, Peiko, Gurara, Tafa, Suleja, and related areas. Contiguous local government areas of Nasarawa State as captured in the proposal, that is Kefi, Akwanga, Nasarawa Igon, and Wamba. The Adara people of Kajuru, Southern Kaduna, and their kith and kin in Niger State must remain together within the Gurara region. The Gbagi people of Southern Kaduna and Niger must not be fragmented and should remain within the Gurara region. The ethnic nationality sharing a common boundary with Gurara. 2. Plateau region. Plateau region should stand as a distinct autonomous region comprising the core Plateau local government areas with the following ethnic congruity correction. Wase, Lantan South, Shandam, and Kwampan local government areas inhabited by people of shared ethnic and cultural identity should not be split or excluded. They form one people and must remain together within the Plateau region. Geographical and ecological justification for separation. The Gurara River provides a natural geographic and hydrological spine for the proposed Gurara region. It originates in the highlands of southern Kaduna, notably areas of Zangon-Katao and Kachia local government areas, and it flows southwards through Kagarko into Niger State before continuing towards its conflux with the river Niger. Niger State and southern Kaduna share similar Guinea savanna vegetation, rainfall regimes, and climatic characteristics. These ecological conditions are distinct from the higher altitude, more temperate plateau ecology of the core Jos Plateau. This shared environment further reinforces the administrative and economic logic of a separate Gurara region, centered on the southern Kaduna, Niger, Nasarawa, rather than the merger with the Plateau region. The capacity of the two distinct regions to stand as viable federated units. Both regions possess necessary attributes of administrative viability and economic sustainability. Gurara region land area, southern Kaduna alone covers approximately 26,000 square kilometers, with contiguous portions of Niger and Nasarawa region which will exceed 40 to 50,000 square kilometers. Estimated population of southern Kaduna is 4.5 to 5.2 million. Combined with contiguous areas, the region will comfortably exceed 7 million. Natural resources: cassiterite, columbite, tantalite, iron ore, nickel, gemstone, clay, talc, hydropower potential for the from the Gurara Dam system. Cash crops: ginger, that's in southern Kaduna, is Nigeria's leading producer. There is maize, yam, cassava, sorghum, millet, soya beans, groundnuts, rice, and shea. Tourism potential: the Gurara waterfalls, highland landscapes, rich cultural festivals of the many ethnic nationalities, and the proximity to the federal capital. Literacy and human capital: historically, higher education attainment relative to much of the Northwest, producing a significant share of skilled professionals. Plateau region, land area approximately 30,000 square kilometers. Estimated population about 5 million. Natural resources will include tin, columbite, tantalite, kaolin, gemstone, and other minerals. Cash crops: Irish potato. Plateau is the national leader in the production of Irish potato. We have acha, maize, soya beans, vegetables, yams, and related highland crops. Tourism potential: widely recognized as the home of peace and tourism, Sherry Hills, Wase Rock, waterfalls, wildlife park, and temperate climate attractions. Literacy level: literacy rates in the mid to high 70% range, supported by strong tertiary institutions, including the University of Jos and other centers of learning. These indicators demonstrate that each of the two distinct regions possesses the landmass, population base, agricultural productivity, mineral endowment, tourism asset, and human capital necessary to function as economically sustainable and administrative region. Conclusion and prayers. The long history of harmonious coexistence between the peoples of the proposed Plateau and Gurara territories is a national asset that must be protected, not endangered. True harmony is preserved when each community is granted the dignity of self-determination within a region that reflects its recent historical experience. geographical realities, and democratic wishes. We therefore urge this assembly to separate the proposed Plateau-Gurara entity into two distinct autonomous regions, a Gurara region anchored on southern Kaduna, contiguous Niger and Nasarawa, with clear natural boundaries along the river Kaduna, and a plateau region that keeps the ethnic groups intact. Such an arrangement will lay a solid foundation for a federation built on consent, strengthened by strong regions and united for peace, prosperity, and progress. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the leader, for a good submission. Please, I want to ask if there's any other person that has something to say. Okay, can come up.
Good morning, distinguished delegates. My name is Barrister Dauda Lamba. I just want to add a few, things. One is that at arriving at this presentation, the Assembly should note that there were no representations from the Nasarawa segment of the proposed Gurara region. Two, that there were also no representation from the Federal Capital Territory axis of the proposed Gurara region. And lastly, the Gurara region and the Plateau region, as being demanded, is out of necessity and bearing the facts that, first and foremost, any region that is to be created is supposed to address some endemic problems. And therefore, by and large, it is our belief that if we allow the present Gurara, Plateau-Gurara region to go on, there is going to be multiplication of the problems that we would have been expected to address by the creation of regions. And therefore, I want to say with all sense of responsibility that we appreciate the efforts of the organizers in designing this, and we also expect the Assembly to give us that we demand with all sense of community. Thank you.
Can we do it better than that? Thank you, the team from Plateau-Gurara region. Having listened to you, to your submission, at this moment I want to invite one of the members of the panel, Alhaji Ibrahim Ahmed, to say something.
Very thank you, the chairman, for this wonderful moderation, and the panelists from Gurara. Thank you for that wonderful presentation. Moving forward, we are going to call on the representatives of Apa-Agba to just come and make their speech. Please join your hands together as the good people of Apa make their way to the stage.
Final question to the House, whether they approve it or not.
No, it's not necessary.
Not necessary. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Who said so? Look at where's our presentation. But if they said they won't give us. Okay. Sit down. They are not having. Don't worry. Our distinguished convener, the leadership of this esteemed organization, distinguished conferees, on behalf of the people of Apa-Agba region of Benue South Senatorial Zone in the present Benue State, I welcome you and thank the organizers for giving us the opportunity to make our case. Why Apa-Agba? Our case, in brief, as a people of over 5.6 million, Idoma and Yegede, two peoples, one political community under the Ochidoma stool for over a century. 8 contiguous local government areas with over 7,600 square kilometers, that is larger than 8 existing states in Nigeria. A rich resource base, oil and gas, coal, limestone, barytes, and of course, one of the largest producers of cassava and yams in Nigeria. In terms of educational establishments, we also have all. That is our affirmative case. We're also making this case from the perspective of the exclusion from the Benue region based on the petition that we have mentioned, and that all this particular region was excised from the region that we were naturally at home with. And so, on the basis of that, we said, why not? So we are exercising this under the rights, under the Article 6 of the draft Articles of the Federation. The map of our region is there. As you can see, the 2 distinct ethnic nationalities that form this particular zone. We have met the criteria for regional formation. The criteria as listed in Article 6, Section 4, talks about historical and cultural affiliations. This goes back hundreds and hundreds of years. In terms of geographical contiguity, from the map that has been shown, you can see that we're geographic contiguous states. We have our people in other states of Nigeria. We have our people in Yala local government of Cross River State and in Bekwara local government of Cross River State. We also have our people in southern Nasarawa. But against the backdrop of what we are trying to do here, willingly to come together or stay where we are most comfortable with, we have decided to say where we have been as an administrative entity since 1923, we'll make our case for this presentation. In terms of administrative viability, Otukpo, that is our regional capital, has been a hub for all manner of government activities for a very long time. And we have the resources and the facilities to serve as an administrative headquarters. We've mentioned our economic sustainability. We asked the question, if we are expected to pay our contribution to the national center, we'll be very proud and happy for the federal government of Nigeria to receive an alert from us, not us waiting to receive an alert from federal government. And I think that is the spirit that we talk. The minority rights and protection is what has driven us to this states. In our previous experiences, our rights as a minority and the rights of our Egede brothers as a micro-minority has been marginalized. We all know that marginalization.
I'm sorry for this glitch. I want to call on the chairman that are going to moderate this section because of how something came up. But I'm calling on Professor Jerry Chekolo to come to the stage, and Dr. Okachukwu Dibia and Professor Godwin Obadu to kindly come over to the stage, please. Thank you.
So we'll just finish our presentation and then we'll invite the chairman to come and usher the introductions properly. So we're saying that the minority rights, we're very conscious of that, and that is why we are here. And I tell everybody who cares to listen that if fundamentally you do not resolve the issue of marginalization in any situation you find yourself, you will still get the agitation. Even when we have our family meetings, there are sections of our family that will complain about marginalization. We know this. And so it is important that we put the structures that will give everybody the opportunity to express and experience itself so that the cries for marginalization will not be there. If we had done that since 1960 when we became independent, we will not be where we are now. So for a people that have been thoroughly marginalized over the years, we are very conscious of this and it's part of our presentation. The democratic wishes of our people, the two major socio-cultural organizations, the Ochetohaki Doma and the Ominigede, are the ones that have come together and says this is where we want to go to. The next slide talks about our economic sustainability and resource endowment, which we do not need to make too much noise of. It is there for all to see. In terms of agriculture, in terms of oil and gas, we have one of the best coals in Nigeria, the contiguous belt with the Enugu coal fields split over from our state. Our limestone facilities is also one of the best, extends from Nkalagu up the way to Gombe. That belt is very rich, and we've been agitating that we should have our own cement plant, but because of this same marginalization argument we have talked about, ours have been buried underwater. Manufacturing, and of course, just like Prof mentioned, our greatest strength is our human capital. We have lots and lots of it. The Doma and the Egede people are one of the friendliest peoples in Nigeria. Anywhere we find us, we are there contributing our service in the judiciary, in medicine, in academia, you know, and of course our people at home and abroad, and in sports and entertainment, and in religion. You cannot miss out the Doma nation in that particular endeavor. So our prayer to this honorable house, is that we recognize Apa-Agba region, comprising the 9 local governments in Benue South Senatorial Zone as a federating region of Nigeria. Record that the petition satisfies all the 6 criteria under Article 6, Section 4 of the draft Articles of Federation. Note the deliberate exclusion of the Doma and Egede peoples from the proposed Benue region. Reject any proposal that assigns the Doma and Egede people to a region without their free, informed, and demonstrated consent. Note that any mediation must proceed on an equal footing. The Apa-Agba region is the substantive position, not a bargaining chip. And of course, to enter the Apa-Agba region in Schedule 1 and Article 4 section of the Articles of Federation. We seek not to diminish any other people, but to secure the recognition of our own. The Apa-Agba region is not our answer to exclusion. It is our answer to the question of who we are. We note that the 2014 National Conference has done the background work And we urge this Honorable House to go to the archives, to go to the records, and talk to the people who were there, who have journeyed this, taking this part before them, so that we can be further enhanced and further enriched as far as we make progress in this, our journey to regionhood is concerned. Thank you and good morning. Mr. Chairman, if you permit me, let me invite retired Assistant Inspector General of Police, Wilson Inalegu, to come and give the security variables as far as our regional security is concerned. AIG, please.
Thank you very much, President. And thank you, very distinguished audience. The leader, he talked about human capital. And I want to take it from there that Apa-Agba has a rich pool of serving and retired senior security officers in the Nigerian security tech sector, the military, the police, the DSS, and the rest of it. And we believe that to have a vibrant and viable region, you need to have effective security architecture. And we recognize that you cannot have development without security. And you can't have security without development. So we'll adopt an integration of security and development so that we can have a viable region. And in doing that, we will adopt a whole of society approach in the way that the region will be safe, will be secure, and the relationship with adjoining regions is cordial. All of you know that the Idoma people, the Idoma and Igbo people are very friendly people. Therefore, all right, sorry. I didn't touch the mic, so I never knew when it failed. So, the Idoma and Igbo people are very friendly people, and I think we have very good neighbors. And when you have good neighbors, you can tap into that friendliness to have security for your land. So we believe that with what we have, it is guaranteed that with the security architecture that we will develop, we'll be able to protect our land, our assets, and there will be development. And in that way, we are going to have one of the most viable rich region of Nigeria. So we invite you, dear friends, to support this request so that we can have a more prosperous country. And God bless you all.
Good afternoon to you all. Once again, I am Dr. Sarah Oga Aduwari, MNI. I will start by appreciating the organizers of this gathering. Well done, and thank you for a job well done. It is very important that citizens of a country, a state, a local government area come together from time to time to deliberate and discuss on pertinent issues that affect their area. And this gathering is a testimony to that idea. And also to acknowledge your inviting women. Because very often when gatherings of this nature take place, women are usually excluded. I want to in a special way appreciate my group from the Apa-Agba region for insisting that at least, no matter how tight our schedules are, that the women must be represented. They have always recognized the women in that area. Because you see, we women are very, very important. We have great ideas, but if you don't bring us to the table, those ideas will not come out. Because there's a famous quote by Mother Teresa, "What I can do, you cannot do. What you can do, I cannot do. But together, we can do so much." So please, always call the women out to say, to lend their voice to important discussions like this. Once again, I sincerely appreciate my chairman and our team and the organizers of this program. Thank you, and thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ambassador Ode Daniel. I'm from Igede, Asigede by tribe, a vice president of the Voice of Igede Abuja branch. Yes, we from Igede Nation, we fully support the motion that our chairman make concerning the Apa-Agba. So we are being together since I was born, since was the creation of the earth. We have been together, we flow well. Our cultural and one or two things we do together without any argument or dispute. So we are fully in support of the mission. God bless you all.
Good day, fellow Nigerians. We have listened attentively to the wonderful presentations. When I saw distinguished Professor Yakub Ochefu doing his presentation, I was saying that in my mind I was thinking that there will be a very deep historical excursion into their destiny, because I know him as a very strong, erudite scholar. Thank you, Prof, for the wonderful presentation with your team. We have had him, and I think the way he did his presentation leaves nothing to be desired again, because he looked at the whole things needed for getting a region, and he did it. Most importantly, when you have cultural identity that binds you together, it will be very, very important to follow that position. I also saw that he was able to go look out for all their brothers wherever they are in the various states. That is what I think we are here for there to be that linguistic and cultural identification. No matter what our histories are, once we have that relationship, ethno-linguistic identity, go there, get those people. So for me, personally, I think you have done a wonderful presentation. Chief, the second panel chairman, I think you can come and air your own view. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation. We have been neighbors. We have been in the same state before. But we have been in the same state before, and a lot of our people are in some of your local governments, which we indicated during our presentation. So we will still be dialoguing. We still have a lot of dialogue to do. But we want to thank you for your presentation.
Thank you so much. The word is dialogue, dialogue, dialogue. Dr. Dibia, I think it's your turn to... Huh? No, you should talk before question. You should talk before question. Go on. That's how you do.
Good morning, House. Good morning, presenters. Good morning, my colleagues. It's a very happy thing since Monday we've been here talking about how to live together as a federation without problems. Let me follow on the heels of my colleagues here that the convener of this idea, God should bless him. Because if you go back and trace it today, there has never been a selflessly constituted and free environment for ethnic discussions in Nigeria. This is the first time I'm getting it. That makes it unique. So I want to appeal to all of us. We are not here to war. We are here to discuss. We are here to dialogue. Please, let's have the spirit of discussion and dialoguing. Nobody should take it outside there. So that at the end of the day, the convener and the executive will not be disappointed by this scream of people. We are too much to disappoint anybody. I thank them. And so at this point in time, Chairman, question from the floor. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now it is question time. So many hands already. Give him first from...
Good morning, everybody. I want to say, mine is not necessarily a question, but just a few comments. To thank the people of Apa-Agba very much for their wonderful presentation. For your wonderful presentation. I think this is a product of an effort that has come out of long years of marginalization and subjugation of your people. And that's why you're able to put up this brilliant presentation. I'm aware of the fact that in the present Benue State, you have about 20-something local governments, and just 7 of that comes to Idoma, and the rest is the TV local, people. And of course, Egede, Etilo, and a few others. You people don't have much of a chance to do the things you should ordinarily do as a people. And so I want to thank you.
Excuse me, sir. I think, in my thinking, we said question. They have made these presentations you are making.
I'm done with my comment.
Okay.
So, that said, I want to thank you for your courage. You will get to where you are or where you want to go. That's the essence of this gathering here today, for us to be able to express ourselves. I want to say that the people of Rivers State here who have shared the same feelings and experience with you are in solidarity with you, and you will get what you want. Thank you very much.
Okay. There is somebody there on mauve dress. Yeah. So I have this person, this person.
Thank you, my Idoma in-laws. I look forward to seeing your region actually, come to be. So I'll be having a second home from Anegala. Now my question is, I observe that Ufia is not mentioned. Ufia, Utonkon. Are you guys ceding them to Ebonyi or to Cross River?
I think, okay, give props to Igbo. Let's take all the questions, then we respond.
Distinguished Prof, you are not just a distinguished Prof, you are an eminent Prof. In so short a time, you've compiled these wonderful treaties. So, the Idoma people, congratulations. How I wish that my good friend, Professor Oga Ajene, is here with you. But it doesn't matter. You've done all of us proud. You are a distinct ethnic nationality that exists in history and in nature. You are not a political faction trying to disrupt things. Both the Igede and the Idoma have been known since antiquity. So what you are saying today is just to confer legitimacy upon a pre-existing fact. Therefore, your region must be created on grounds of ethno-linguistic basis. So, another thing I will just give you as a question. This wonderful lady here who spoke so profoundly, look at the Igbo region. Women almost are outnumbering the men. We didn't choose them. It's all by merit. By merit.
Prof.
And somebody else made reference to the position of non-ethnic aboriginals within aboriginal ethnic nationalities zones. In Igbo land, come and see wonders. You can become anything, the Igbo man doesn't care.
Prof, your question, please.
Okay. We invite Nigerians, come and become governor of Enugu State, of everywhere. So the question is this, how are you managing? Distinguished Prof, how are you managing the Ani Gala? Because here, we've said yes to Ani Gala. How are you managing the situation where they've already included you into Ani Gala? Question, please. Thank you very much, sir.
No, it's not time yet. You will answer the whole question. Yeah, there's somebody here at the Yoruba region. Okay.
Thank you very much, Prof, for your wonderful presentation. If I must say, I'm in love with this proposed region. Because when you talk of hospitality, they are second to Yoruba in Nigeria. Prof, my question is this. What is the position of Agatu within this proposed region? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, distinguished members, for the very kind words of support. The Agatu, which is Agatu is one of our districts. The Idoma language is actually a dialect cluster. We have a congregation of various dialects that make up the Idoma. So the Agatu are our northernmost Idoma. They live by the banks of the river. I know that in parts of Yoruba land, any person that speaks the Idoma language is referred to as Agatu, because for several centuries they've been providing all manner of services in that part of the world. And we have a lot of Yoruba towns named in our villages. So if you come to Idoma land, you won't be surprised to find names like Ife, Ondo, and things like that in many of our communities. So the Agatu are part of us. That is the home of our paramount chief, the Ochidoma. He's from Agatu. The Ufia, they acquire the Agatu are all part of the Idoma nationality. And so we are not going to cede the Ufia to Ebonyi State. We also have one of the political wards in our state, in Ichama, that is entirely from Igbo land, from Nsukka district. We have an Idoma nationality, a mixed Idoma Egede nationality called the Ete in Enugu-Ezike local government of Nsukka that speak Igala, speak Idoma, and speak Igbo. So we have all those nationalities, but we said we don't want to tamper with them because they are very comfortable where they are, But what happens is that we are dealing with the ones that are in that contiguous entity. Did I miss any question? No.
I don't think
we are good.
I don't think you are missing. Is there any other question? Otherwise, we put it on vote. We have heard them. We have listened attentively. Do we add Apa-Agba people as part of the region? Those in favor say aye. Those against it say nay. The ayes have it. So we thank you people and we believe. Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations.
All right, viewers, I thank you for coming along with me. Please, if you have not subscribed to YangaLife channel, click on the subscription button, notification bell, like our videos, and don't forget to share them. Till I come your way next time, say bye.